All right, in this video, I'm gonna be showing you how you can flip $100. But if you don't know what type of trader you are and what stage you are in your trading journey, then it's almost impossible for you to be consistent. This is something I built over the years of trading as I helped thousands of students do the exact same thing, from taking a $100 account to 10,000 plus, but consistently. I built this roadmap after helping thousands of traders from over leveraging their account and small accounts at that. So this is why this video is going to be very mandatory for anybody that is a beginner. If you're starting off trying to grow a $100 account, or anybody that's been doing this for a long period of time, but just can't seem to get consistent. If you don't know who I am, I took a $4,000 account to 40K, all via YouTube live stream. I even took a $1,000 account to 10K. And I'm currently taking another 10K account to 100K. And we're also doing a $1,000 account to 10K. And this is all happening on my YouTube and all social medias. So make sure you comment, like, and subscribe if you want to see more of that. But let's go ahead and dive into this and show you guys what the system you should be following consistently so you can be the best trader you can be and stay profitable every time you grow a small account. All right, so we're going to start off on stage 1, which is the trading growth that a trader needs to focus on. So the thing is, 2 times you need to backtest a week, aiming for consistency high setups. This is pretty self-explanatory. I'm not going to get too much into it. The tools that I use to backtest is either TradingView, or I use something called FX Replay. Now, I'm not sponsored by FX Replay or even sponsored by TradingView in a way of me promoting it to get money. I'm telling you that these are the 2 that are pretty standard in the industry when it comes to backtesting. TradingView obviously is a free tool. If you haven't heard about it, it is where 90% of traders do their markups before they actually place a trade. And then FX Replay is probably one of the most accurate backtesting tools that actually give you real data. So if you want to do something more like it feels like a real live market, like a real live simulated market, then FX Replay is the best bet. So you can go with those 2 options. I prefer TradingView because it's free, but FX Replay is really good for building an actual system if you want to start building your trading plan. Now, other than that, the next thing is understanding trader psychology. So you don't want to chase and you want to be patient. So I actually had this plan that was built off of Locket Trade, which is an Excel sheet that we had created like 2 years ago. And this right here is the prime reason why I'm so consistent and profitable in a lot of my accounts that I do grow. So if you guys do want a plan, it is free, the same plan, plus you'll get the strategies more in depth. Just go ahead, check the link down below. It will look like this. This is pretty much how you guys will get it. But the thing is, you do need a trading plan so you can understand how to be consistent, how to not be, or how to stop chasing other things but just stay patient, and how to be a profitable trader. All right, and then of course we're going to focus on sniping high profitability zones, and I'm gonna talk about that in a little bit so you guys understand that. And then after that, the next thing is making sure when you guys are trading, your entry model is always going to be based off of 5-minute bias, and then the 1 minute is your entry. And what I mean by that is when you're trading on a higher scale, like a 1 hour time frame or 4 hour time frame, you're only looking at that just to map out how far the market is going to go, and also mapping out if this is an uptrend or a downtrend. I say this all the time. If the market is going down, fucking sell it. If the market is going up, buy it. Don't try to contradict yourself in selling when it's a buying market or vice versa, because that ain't gonna work for a trader like you if you're trying to be consistent. So instead, what we do in our community is we trade. When we see a buy, we buy. When we see sells, we sells. And we're using the 1 hour time frame to map this out. So one thing about the 1 hour time frame is when you're paying attention to the market, you want to pay attention to this moment here. It is very simple on how to find a structural high or structural low. You're just waiting on structure to break the previous high. And all that looks like is, let's say the market created a high here and it broke that high with a very aggressive displacement candle. So then now you have an idea of, okay, this could potentially be an uptrend. And then let's say that we map this high out and we finally broke through. The moment these moves happen, this is giving you buy setups, and you should only be looking for buy setups, because when you're real good at that, you can start drawing simple trend lines and start using the simple moving average, or the EMA that I use, which is the 9 EMA, to help out and build this system out for you. So that's why I say 5-minute bias is where you're going to look for the setup. The 1 minute is your entry, but the 1 hour and the 4 hour is your direction. And that is how you polish up your actual entry model. Now, going back into this, we're going to talk about the liquidity sweeps, 50% fib pullback and I'm gonna show you guys a live example. So you're paying attention to anywhere where you see like major wicks, and looking right here, we had that move happen right here off of 1 hour time frame. And all I'm doing is just drawing out a line because I'm just waiting on market to come back down here and sweep out these lows right here, this liquidity here. And then if we look, we've seen that move had happened right here. And in the moment that move happened, you literally see how aggressive it just took off. What happens now is, even if you're paying attention to the 1 hour scale, you just jump straight to the 5 minute, and then jumping straight to the 5 minute after that liquidity sweep, which was this move right here. We are simply waiting on market to pull back 50% of that most recent range. And what that most recent range looks like is this move here to this move up here. How did I figure that out? Well, we're going to go ahead and go on a smaller scale so I can show you more stable structure. And then from there, you will see ideally what that looks like. So then now if we're taking this move from here, you see that market went up. Okay, it took out this high. The moment that market took out this high, this marked out as our low. Same thing right here. The moment market took it this high, this marked as our low. And then this is our high right here. So all we're doing is drawing out our fills from A to B, and we're just waiting on it to pull 50% because we know anything below 50% is a true equilibrium level for us to actually look for buy setups. And then as you guys see, we wait on price action to give us buy signals, which would have been this candle here. And you guys could have rode this trade all the way up if that was your ideal move. Going back into this, let's talk about the confluence zones only. And that is basically adding everything all together. When you guys are trading, your main goal is to make sure you have 1, 2, and 3 aligning all cohesively. And this is basically me saying if A had a line, I need to see B aligning with A, and I need to see C aligning with B and A. That is basically building up a powerhouse of confluences so you feel confident and comfortable in this trade to enter. And that's pretty much how that part works. Now, as far as your entry target, is very simple. You want to look for wick rejections on a 1 minute time frame. And I'm going to show you guys a quick example. Going on this 1 minute time frame, you will see that we're getting wicks. Remember, wicks is always going to be your best friend when it comes to price volume, because this is a true indication of if the buyers are strong, then you buy it. If the sellers are strong, then you sell it. But looking here, after establishing that we broke 50%, we already took liquidity out. We got wicks, and then we got the engulfing candle. That is your entry. And all you need to do is just be buying. And that is literally how you take those trades. Now, the key to scaling the account is you always want to make sure you're focusing on a RR of a 1, 2, 3. And I'm gonna explain why. Imagine you get in a trade and you're risking $100 to make $300, and that trade was a winning trade. Imagine you got in another trade to make $300 and you risk $100. Guess what? You lost that trade. Are you still profitable for the day? Yes, you are, because technically you had tripled your account off of one play. So imagine if you're using this strategy that you're getting within this whole entire video. Imagine this. Your win rate is going to be above 65% if you watch this video all the way through, because I'm giving you guys the sauce right now of how to take an account from $100 consistently to 10K like it's clockwork. So if you can consistently do that at a 65% minimum win rate, you will be profitable at the end of the day. And this is how you grow and scale an account. All right. Now you need to know the entry model though, because it don't work for everything. You have to understand that the entry model is the key and the vital thing to this. And you have to align your RR with your take profits, which I'm going to explain right now. So the exit target is always going to be a negative 2.27 and a negative 618 Fibonacci expansion tool. I'm going to explain that in a little bit, but we're going to move on to this part down here. And then one thing you want to do is test to see what works best for you. London session or New York open. Be honest with you, this week for oil, this week, guys, this week for oil, it moves so well during London session. I'm normally trading New York session for oil, and I actually lost money this week because of the simple fact it didn't do much for New York Open. It did everything that I wanted to do for London session. So it definitely does move during London session, but majority of the times you catch a lot more plays on New York session. This is all because I've studied this pair probably for the past 4 years now, and I know what works best for me and my people that I'm teaching. But what I will say is if you want to test London and or New York, for sure, New York Open will still always be the go-to because it works for my schedule. So you definitely want to make sure you always test and test and test. And then here's the most important thing. You want to track every result. I told you guys, I have a plan I follow. I still have students messaging me today and say, hey, how do you stay consistent? What is the goal to following your setup, following your rules? Guys, it's as simple as I just have to put this in front of my face and just tell myself, yo, E, follow the rules. Yo, E, follow the rules. And doing that really helps me out. But in order to do that, you have to track everything. And that's exactly why this is the Locker Trade, and this is what and how we created this. So once again, just join the wait list. It's free for everybody, by the way. But once we have it ready, this is a tool that you guys can use to analyze everything about you as a trader, so you don't have to worry about it. It tracks your emotions. It creates a trading plan for you, so you don't have to create this for you. It will go based off your trading style, and then it will filter out what is good and what isn't, and then it will create your trading plan for you. You can also put in your trading plan. So if you already have a trading plan, meaning like I already have 3 trading plans, you can put in your trading plan, and the system is going to hold you accountable for your trading plan. Meaning if your trading plan was I only focus on 3 trades per day, I only focus on 2 trades per day, I only trade during New York session, I only trade during London session, and I only use this strategy, and whatever it is, my RR is always a 1 to 3, and you start tweaking that and not going with your game plan, the system is going to know, it's going to dictate that, and it's going to warn you, send you emails, send you push notifications, which is really cool. But most importantly, it's going to track all that in the back end, and it's going to give you a most accurate trading plan, because it's like, look, you obviously don't follow your own plan. It seems like you're doing more 1 to 2 trades. You're more profitable with it. So I'm going to just tell you, when you create the plan, we're going to have a 1 to 2 instead of a 1 to 3, like you were saying. That makes no sense. That's what it does. So that part is important. You want to track that. That's the only way to get consistency throughout this entire flow. Now, after that, you want to move to stage 2. This is the hardest part. Scaling. Okay, so let's assume that you pass the demo or you pass the challenge account, because I know a lot of you guys still trade demo accounts thinking that is the way, and it is, but only just to create a strategy. You want to now shift your mindset. Detached from the dollar amount. I hear everybody say, oh, my goal is to make $200 per day, or my goal is to make $500 per day. I don't even do that anymore. If I was to stick with that rule, I probably would have blown more accounts than actually grew more accounts. So what I do is I say, look, I'm only looking to gain 15% per week, 20% per week, 30% per week, and go from there. To be honest with you guys, I personally don't even have a rule of how much I want to make per day, because I realize me doing that puts me away from over trading and or over leveraging, because I'm like, well, shoot, I have to make 2% today. I have to make 2% today. I shift my mindset to not even say that, because some weeks the market might not give you no setups, and you're forcing yourself into something that don't exist. So shift your mindset, and I'm saying this in the most humble way, because otherwise you're just going to be the same person trying to fucking grow an account in a day and so forth. But that's what you don't want to do. No, next thing is no rules broken, news over trading or violation daily drawdowns. Once again, you can use Locker Trade to track all of this. It will tell you if you've been over trading during news. It will help you from everything about that. Now, going to the next thing is you want to track your win rate, your RR. That's the biggest thing, and that's also what we're going to be doing when we're using Locker Trade. And if you guys don't want to use this tool, don't have to fucking use this tool. You can go with Notion. You can go with Excel sheet. You can go with any journal. It can be as simple as going into ChatGPT, asking ChatGPT this question: can you create me a Forex and prop firm tracker so I can journal all of my trades? A couple of things I would need is, 1, a tracker to track my win rate, 2, a way to track my reward and risk, and then 3, a way to track my emotions. So when you guys enter that into the system, it's going to give you something very polished. You can literally ChatGPT that for free 99 if you have ChatGPT. So it is a thing. Now, other than that, next thing you want to do is only scale if win rate is at 65% or RR is at 1 to 3 average. So what I mean by this is, if you're tracking it with Locker Trade, or you're tracking it with manual, or you got your own, or you're using ChatGPT, whatever it is, your win rate needs to at least get to 65% with an RR at least 1 to 3. Then you can start scaling your account, meaning that you can start adding more lots than what you're already adding. And that's key. Now, let's say that you start small, right? You start with a $500 account or $2K account, or even a funded account. You want to keep your lot sizes anywhere from 10 to 50 based on the equity and the drawdown tolerance. And what I mean by this is, if you're trading a prop firm, you have to go way lower than what you're doing with a small account. If you're trading a small account, you can either go 50 if you're trading something like US 30, which is what we're talking about here, mainly US 30 and oil. I would say go with 0.50, 0.50, 0.50. Yes, trading a broker with a really good spread and margins, you can get that, and that could be possible, especially on US oil. And that's exactly why I use Henkel X. That's one of the brokers I use to scale and grow accounts. Pretty much the only broker I use to scale and grow accounts. There's other accounts that you or other brokers you can use to make that happen. But Henkel X is one of the best when it comes to growing small accounts, and I would highly recommend that. And if you guys are ever interested in that, yes, you can get a 300% sign-on bonus, which is margins added to your account. So if you're adding a $100 account, just do 300% times that, and that's how much you would get as far as buying power. So it would be only buying power that you use, but it would be great for you guys to get literally going. So let me walk you guys on how you can really scale this to 10K and like it's clockwork. And I mean, use this in a way where you have 5 accounts, but one is doing one thing, another account is doing another, and the other 3 accounts are doing other things. Let me walk you guys through that whole entire system. So when you're dealing with a small account, your goal is to always 2x, 5x, 10x your withdrawal. What I mean by that is if you take $100 to $1,000, withdraw $200 out the first week. So you can at least, and this isn't just because you're doing it to do it, it's all based because you're teaching yourself that, hey, I need to start taking my money out and not be greedy because I want to take this $1,000 to 10K. Now, once I get to 10K, I want to take it to 100K, and then you haven't been taking no money out. This is one going to help you with your mindset, your psychology, but most importantly, it's going to help you get your money that you put back in your account. The moment you put $100 in your account, $500 in your account, and you get it back, you won. That's the game plan, right? Just at least get your money back while the account is still growing. As you see, we pretty much took $10,000 out our account, knowing that we already put $1,000 in the account, but I consistently pay myself out every week, because that is what matters at the end of the day. You want to make sure you are laser focused, laser adapting, and you just lock the fuck in when it comes to withdrawing your money. All right. And then your next week, you can go 5x. So let's say you took the $100 to $1,000, and now the account is at $800 because you already withdraw $200. So now you took that $800 to, let's just say, a couple thousand, let's say maybe $2,000, 5x it now. Now go to 5 times because you already withdrew your money out. So you're risk free at this point. Now you're living what you want to live based off of those funds. And then at this point, you're working a 9 to 5, but you basically working a 9 to 5, only working an hour a day, and you're tripling what you make at your job. Sounds good to me. All right. And then obviously from there, move the fucking profits to your crypto wallet. If you're using Cash App, Coinbase, Binance, just send it out to there, and then you can do whatever you want from there. You can keep it on your crypto account and let it grow, accumulate, or you can take it to your bank like I do. All right. And the next thing is daily max loss. This is super important. You do need to have a daily max loss. You don't need to have a daily target profit, though. And I'm going to explain why. The reason why you don't really care to have profits, unless you're only focusing on a 1 to 3, that's all I'm asking for you guys to do. Remember, 1 to 3 RR, but you're not telling yourself, oh, I want to make $500 today. Because once again, the market could go sideways, and it could do something like this right here, where you're not getting any setups, or you might get a setup, or you might not get a setup. Like this was an L, this was profit, and like even earlier today we had L's, and then profits. Like you might get something like this. You can't force yourself into something that isn't going to exist if it don't exist. So instead, have a max loss of at least 2R or 5%, meaning like I don't want to go past 5% risk in my account. So yes, unfortunately, if you have trading $100 account, I go to 15%, but that's because I know my plan and I feel confident and comfortable. But I'm telling you guys, stick anywhere from that 2R or the 5%. That is the best way to really scale this account. All right. So then now, knowing that we have everything about that, and knowing we understand everything about that, this is how you go from 9 to 5er to a full-time trader, and you're just growing anybody's small account plus yours. And now you can charge people because you know how to properly grow small accounts. I did this for my mom. I did this for my friends. I did this obviously for myself. It's at this point where I'm probably might have to turn and do my own like account hedge funding for smaller counters that only has $500 to $1,000 or whatever. I don't know, but I'm just throwing it out there. So basically, consistency, funded plus withdrawing. So all you want to worry about is consistent. And the only way to be consistent is to follow everything we just talked about. All right. Lock in a routine. Same pair, same session, same times. Guys, I only trade one pair now. I only trade US oil. That is my go-to. I have a side chick, yes, and that is US 30. But US 30 has not been the same since for a little while, for like almost a month. So I've been focusing locked in only on one pair. That's all I need you guys to do. So if you're trading 2 or 3 pairs, just let it only be those 2 to 3 pairs and only trade the same sessions. Don't try to go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. If you don't trade it, don't trade it. I love waking up at 7:30, knowing that at 8 o'clock, I need to be looking for my setup, because around 8:30 is usually when I'm getting in something, and then I'm out for like 30 minutes, and then I get in another setup. I usually catch 2 setups per day on oil because that's how good it moves. That's what you guys need to be able to do and tell yourself as well. Okay, and then from there, use Locket Trade for journaling. This is super important. The thing about Locket Trade is it gives you compliance alerts. It helps you with tracking. It helps you with every little thing, creating a plan and building it up. You can use Locket Trade. If you don't want to, like I said, you can also use ChatGPT AI to build your own thing for you. It's probably going to take no more than 15 minutes to do it. Okay. And then also you have a compounding strategy, which is you're gradually scaling and growing your account. So example is 0.01, 0.03, 0.05. And this is something that also Locket Trade helps you out with. Once you create the plan, it will tell you week 1, start here. If you get here, then go to week 2, start here. If you get here, then go to week 3, start here. And that's pretty cool that it does that. Also, risk protection rule, super important. Withdraw after 3 wins or every 5-hour gain. So if you won 3 times, you can also just withdraw. So let's say you had 3 wins. Withdraw the money, guys. Withdraw the money. There's no reason to keep keeping it in your account because, you're going to grow your account eventually. The game here is slow and steady. Slow and steady. It's not fast paced. Otherwise, you're going to get blown out. All right. Pause. Other than that, weekly reset, analyze worst trades, mental performance. You always want to make sure you analyze what made me fuck up here. For instance, today, I literally lost a lot of money because I was in and out the trade today because I was buying it. I seen it buy and I seen it went down. I sold it, or I got out the trade. And then, that's because it hit stop loss. And then I was like, buy again. Okay. And then I'm like, damn, why is it going back down? Let me get out. Why the fuck was I doing that? Well, because simply I was thinking that the market was going to go this and go that. In reality, I didn't stick to my plan. My plan literally had a rule in here to not do that. And I went against that. And I forfeited the loss and lost like 3K because of that. All right. Max 2 to 3 trades a day. Avoid burnout. That is all you guys need. Okay. Mandatory. 1 day off per week for recovering. Usually it's Fridays for me. That's why I don't really do too much. Even on the weekends, I don't even want to do too much because I want to get back live in the market on Monday. You want to make sure when you're taking any accounts, don't use just one trading account, okay? Or one broker. You want to compound your account with different brokers for a lot of reasons. I don't like to put my eggs all in one basket. So I use Henkel X to grow all my small accounts. When I take $100 to 10K or 10K to 100K, I withdraw it. Sometimes I send it straight to my bank account or I take it to another account, like a main account. I have a lot of different ways you can go about this. If you have like a Roth IRA account, or if you have like a stock account or ETF account or Vanguard account, take it there. Let it grow there, build up more, and then you go from there. Or if you want to just be regular with it like me, you can take it, send it to your bank, and from whatever you want to do with that, that's on you. That's what I do. Okay. But you want to make sure you have separate brokers for separate purposes because every broker doesn't do the exact same thing. I use Henkel X for scaling a small account. I use Gates FX for building my bigger accounts. And then if you guys ever want to use any other accounts, you can go to Forex Prop Rank, check that out. It will give you insights on what broker and prop firm makes sense based off your trading style. And that's how that works. All right. And then you want to stack your funded account. So use Forex Prop Rank to find your firm, board funded, Restro FX, top tier, Henkel Trade, and such and such. So that is how you guys can take a small account. If you really want to scale and grow, this is something you need to share, rewatch, share, rewatch, and share, rewatch. Because at the end of the day, I gave you guys the sauce and you have to take accountable based off of what you got and utilize it to the T so you can be a profitable trader. So if you guys want more like this, please comment. Let me know that this is something that holds value, because if it does, I will continue to do more like this. And then we'll go from there and I'll show you guys more. Make sure you check out the free Discord and subscribe. Your boy, Solo. Peace.